Imagine you're sitting in a small town and things are quiet, peaceful, maybe a little too normal. And then out of nowhere, spirals. Yeah, spirals. People started getting obsessed, things started getting twisted, and all descends into chaos. You're left wondering, did I just get trapped into a weird nightmare? Well, congratulations. You've stepped into the world of Uzumaki. It's a show that starts off with a creepy premise and then it just started spiraling. Pun intended. But is it worth the ride? Let's find out. Before we deep dive into the madness, which is Uzumaki, let's take a spin, pun intended, in the history. This anime is based on Junji Ito's 1998 horror manga Uzumaki, which made waves in the horror community with its bizarre and unsettling storytelling. Junji Ito, if you don't know, is a legend in the world of horror manga, having a great iconic works like Tomi Gayo and the Enigma of Amigata Fault. Y'all know I gotta butcher like one, okay? This guy knows how to make you scared of everyday things, like say, spirals. When the Uzumaki anime was first announced, a lot of people were excited, and then it just kept getting delayed. Originally, Production IG was supposed to be involved, but things kept getting delayed, and the development wasn't coming up, and the actual anime work ended up being handled by two smaller studios, which was Fugaku Company and the Akatsuki Studio. Fugaku took on episodes 1 and 4, and they've got a history with projects like Dog Signals and Pelelu, and I'm not going to try the rest of the title. Meanwhile, Akatsuki landed episodes 2 and 3, and they're known for their work on titles like Fooly Cooly Shoegaze, Danchi, Still, Session High, and Puzzle and Dragons. This split studio approach explains some of the inconsistency in the visuals and animation. Unlike a powerhouse studio with a massive budget, these teams had more of a limited scope, which might have contributed to the show's rough productions and long delays. But this was their big shot at adapting a heavy-hitting horror manga. Spoiler alert, things didn't work out as planned. And as for the live action, it came out in the year 2000. It's a campy, weird, and definitely a project of its time. So if you want to see Uzumaki in a different light, well, it's there. But in both cases, neither the anime or the live action gives justice to the source material. Now let's get to the heart of the matter, the plot. Uzumaki takes place in a small, cursed town where spirals slowly drive the inhabitants insane. Kuri and Suichi, our two main characters, try to figure out what's going on, but it's less of a coherent narrative and more of a collection of disturbing spiral-related vignettes. Sure, the premise is cool, but the plot itself falls flat. It's repetitive, disjointed, and leaves a lot of questions unanswered. The spirals are cool for a while, but you quickly realize that's all about what the story has to offer. I give the score a 1 out of 3. It fails to pull you in or gets past that surface level horror crap. It's more of an odd, unsettling journey rather than a story that actually you can be invested in. When it comes to world building, Uzumaki really spirals out of control. Huh? Okay. The entire show takes place in a tiny, isolated town of Kurozusho. And you know what? That's basically it. We don't learn anything about the outside world, the origins of the spiral curse, or even how the rest of the world is reacting. Is this happening everywhere? Are they the only town that's affected? Who knows? The lack of death leaves the world feeling like a one-off nightmare, disconnected and unimportant in a grand scheme of things. I give the score 1 out of 3. There's just not enough context to make the world feel real or immersive. You're left in a small, spiraling town with no clue of why all this shit is happening. Character development. Yeah, about that. Kiri and Shuichi are supposed to be our emotional anchors, but they feel more like cardboard cutouts, reacting to spirals rather than characters with motivation or growth. Now, granted, in the beginning, they give us a little bit of something. You see that Shuichi's father was obsessed with the spiral and just wanted everything to do with the spiral. Was doing crazy work. And then you kind of see Kiri's dad do the same thing because he's a potterer, or he's a potter, or a potter. He makes pottery. Okay, y'all put what that is. I'm trying to find the word I'm trying to find in the comments. We learn little about who they are, and just off the base of the things I just told you, that's the only reason why they're investing the nightmare. But they don't really go too much deep into what's going on. And we don't see that much change in their characters, maybe for an episode or so. But it's like, it makes you not give a fuck about either or of them. It like, beyond episode 1, you just kind of just stop giving a fuck. You just want to see it through. There's no real development. Just people trying to not go insane while the world around them falls apart. You'd expect some kind of evolution by the end, but it never comes. I'm going to give this another 1 out of 3. The characters are about as interesting as watching paint dry. And they just exist in the story, trying to survive. But you won't really care what happens to them. The animation. The fucking animation. The first episode has that atmospheric, creepy vibe that hooks you in. But after that, it seems someone flipped the switch. The animation quality drops, and you start seeing the issues. There are moments that look like they were rushed and very inconsistent. Just frustrating. Because the show starts with so much potential, but it doesn't maintain that level of detail or quality at all throughout the series. Again, another 1 out of 3. The anime starts out strong, but it slowly begins to deteriorate. It's a real shame, but potential was there, but I mean, what the fuck else you want me to say? Bonus round. I don't have anything more positive to say about this. I mean, I think just the history itself is probably the most positive thing I could say about this. And as far as negatives, I don't even have nothing more negative to say about this shit. This was just, all I could overall say is this is probably one of the most worst animes. Yeah, it was probably one of the worst animes that came out in 2024. Maybe if I look down my life of history of ass animes that I've seen, this is probably top 10. It's very, very disappointing because of the popularity that Uzumaki has in the manga community. I mean, I've heard about this anime or this manga for a long time. Back when I was reading Naruto and stuff, and I used to, consider Naruto Uzumaki, and I was like, oh shit, this is called Uzumaki, so let me look at it. And I wasn't really into horror manga or anime at the time, so I was excited now that this was going to get a anime. And I watched each episode. I don't know. It's like Cartoon Network, especially for 2024, has been some fucking misses. Between that and Ninja Kamui, especially now, someone requested that shit. It's not a good look for Cartoon Network. So after everything and all that being said, I'm going to give it a total of 4 out of 12, which puts this anime in the firmly of just a simple no. A hell no even. A fuck no maybe. But no, I'm not watching this no more. I don't advise you to watch it. Hell, I don't even advise you to hate watch it, or if you're just into bad things, to watch this for shits and giggles. This is not ghost stories. It's not worth it. While it has some creepy moments and intriguing concept, it does fall short in every area. The plot doesn't hold up, the characters are flat, the world building is non-consistent. Well, while it has some creepy moments and it's an intriguing concept, it falls short in almost every area. The plot doesn't hold up, the characters are flat, the world building is non-existent, and the animation is very inconsistent. Maybe the first episode hooks you, like I've said several times, but that's about it. So do yourself a favor, like I said earlier, don't watch this shit. If you want to see much more engaging adventure with a little mixture of some Deadpool type of mess, then check out my video on Undead Unluck. It's a way better anime, okay? Don't forget to like this video. It helps it out very much. The channel, what I'm talking about, helps the channel out very much. And don't forget to hit that bell to subscribe. But you know what I'm trying. All that fucking mess, okay? This shit got my head in a goddamn spiral, okay? See you later. Click the goddamn video that you see on the screen. Bye.